Hey, it's me, Bobble33, and this is my versus video of Sonic Lost World versus Sonic Boom, both for the Nintendo Wii U. Boy, did these two Sonic games left an art impression on me. Sonic Boom, although I gave it a somewhat positive review, of course that's compared to all the other Sonic Boom reviews out there, I still didn't really recommend the game, mainly because it wasn't a true Sonic game, and as for Sonic Lost World, it was so strange that I actually didn't give a full review of it, but after playing both games again, I now have new opinions on both of them, so let's get started and find out which Sonic game is better on a Wii U. Sonic Lost World has a 2D and 3D section of the game, but they pretty much perform somewhat of the same. The controls does get some getting used to, mainly because of Sonic's turning can be sometimes tight and too sensitive at times, and of course the new parkour system that's in the game does take some practice as well, but after you get used to it, the game becomes very fun. Now on to Sonic Boom's gameplay. At first I thought it'd be hard to make a comparison between Sonic Lost World gameplay and Sonic Boom gameplay, mainly because Sonic Boom has 4 playable characters, but now looking back on it, all the 4 playable characters pretty much play the same. Like in the speed sections, everybody does the exact same thing. In the combat, even though a few characters get different abilities, like Tails able to throw projectiles, they pretty much feel the exact same. And also the platforming, each of them got their own special ability, but again, it feels pretty much the same, and the special abilities really nothing to brag about or exciting to play as. The only real compliment I can give Sonic Boom gameplay is that it's pretty easy to pick up. If you play any basic platformer game, you can pretty much play this game. The only real obstacle is the bugs and glitches in this game, but compared to Sonic Lost World, Sonic Boom is much easier to pick up for any kind of player. But at the same time, I feel Sonic Lost World's gameplay, although has a learning curve, is more exciting and pretty much fun to play as once you get used to it. Sonic Lost World's graphics is way better than Sonic Boom's graphics. Any game that has a very colorful and exciting environment, especially like this, is always a winner to me. Sonic Boom's graphics, on the other hand, looks unfinished and incomplete. In fact, it looks like a PS2 game, but even then, that's kind of an insult to other PS2 games. I can think of a few PS2 games that are much better than this. Chrono 2 comes to mind. Let's see here. Sonic Lost World music is definitely better. A couple of examples is the boss musics and Desert Zone 2. Those are some of my favorite tracks, while Sonic Boom music is pretty forgettable, A, because they reused them in multiple stages over and over again, and B, they're pretty generic and mediocre. Let's see, both of the game stories fail to establish themselves. Like with Sonic Lost World, they fail to establish the Zeddies, the main enemies of the game, and the Lost Hex, the world that most of these stages are from. And for Sonic Boom, they failed to establish their new continuity, Shadow the Hedgehog a main example of that. I guess Sonic Lost World wins by technicality, mainly because it at least got the previous games to fall back on, but again, both stories are pretty terrible. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry if I'm sounding a bit confused here. I'm just looking over my notes and I noticed a pattern here, and instead of just continue on, this is in this video and reveal the winner. Sonic Lost World is obviously the winner. To be honest, I was expecting more of a fight between these two games. I always knew that Sonic Lost World was always going to win, but in these videos, I always had to point out the positives of each game and point out which one did better in which area. But with Sonic Boom, there's really nothing to point out that is really positive, except maybe the gameplay was pretty basic, but for the most part it's boring and not really exciting to play through. With Sonic Lost World, not counting the DLC stuff that is free, I don't usually consider DLC content in these videos, but even without that, Sonic Lost World is definitely a fun game. Granted, it does have a bit of a learning curve, but once you get used to it, I find I had a lot of fun with this game. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another review of this game maybe next year once I play the game again, because the first time I played this game, I was left confused and conflicted, but maybe after playing Sonic Boom, I found more of an appreciation of this game. But maybe it's just more of an appreciation than anything else. But I still have genuine fun with Sonic Lost World, and I still think it's a better game overall. Sonic Boom, in my review, I said it's not the worst thing ever, and I still stay true with that statement. But I don't think I was harsh enough on Sonic Boom in that review than I was over here. Sonic Boom really had nothing redeeming about it, except for not screwing up compared to the other Sonic games that came out. But even then, I at least find some kind of ironic appreciation for the worst Sonic games out there, like Sonic 06 and Sonic and the Black Knight. But anyways, if you must play one Sonic game on a Wii U, well, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transform would probably be the first one, to be honest. But if it has to be a platformer, then Sonic Lost World is definitely a recommendation. I'm pretty sure it's cheap now, so it's definitely worth trying out. Sonic Boom, just stay away from it. This is me, Baba33, and stay tuned to my next retrospective reviews, as well as some other basic reviews that's coming soon to this channel. If you like what you see here, feel free to like and hopefully you subscribe. And if you see any improvements that I need, feel free to say it in the comment section. I catch you guys later.